Oops. Cat got in the way. Whew. Buen dia. Oh, yay. Busy morning already. Good morning. Seasoning the shrimp. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Hola, Greta. How are you feeling today? How are you doing, Greta? Good morning, Maria. A bit better? Good. I'm so happy to hear that. We let a few people come on and then I'll let you know what we're doing. I wonder if I'll do one of these episodes where I see people just cook but say nothing. I don't think I could. We're expecting 12 to 18 inches of snow. Ooh, yeah, oh my God. Wow. You know, I love you guys, but I don't think I could do that again. Live somewhere where they have so much snow. I don't think I could. I feel a sneeze coming on and I don't want to sneeze. Yep. It's like, I feel it coming on. The problem is when I sneeze, it's usually not just once. It's like a series. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit of dry. I am seasoning some shrimp and so let's see, 6 of you. Today I want to do a white bean dish, but it's not a soup. Well, it could be called a soup. But what I want to do, I had like half a bag of white beans. So I soaked them overnight and I cooked them this morning with bay leaves and fresh garlic. So I'm going to mash part of it and then I'm going to bring it into a pot and make, thicken it a little bit. And then when it's almost done, I'm going to blanch some green peas and some edamame and put it in there so we can have contrast. Then I'm going to make a vegetable dish with eggplant, carrots, chayote, and, I I could have gotten cabbage, but I didn't. But I did get some spinach. So we're gonna do that. Now, when I make that dish, we call it legume, right? This is a Haitian dish. The base is usually with some beef, meat, and bones. Like you're gonna do a soup of some kind. But I didn't want to do beef today. So I said, well, how about chicken? Well, no, I don't want any chicken. So I got some shrimp. Looking at white beans, good, you could see it. And so I bought some shrimp, and yes, I've been busy deveining, taking the poop line out. I don't like that. I don't know if you saw, I did a short live earlier, about an hour ago, to show you. I got the pulpo, which is the octopus. I promised you I would, so I did. So now I said I'm gonna have to get some tutorial to see how to cook it, because they eat a lot of octopus here. They love it. We call it pulpo, P-U-L-P-O. So I cleaned my shrimp. It was 2 pounds. So I just kind of lightly season it. You don't need to season it really hard, because I don't have the beef. And the reason you want the meat is because you want that flavor to flavor your eggplant and everything else. So I said, okay, I'm gonna use shrimp instead of meat. And then I'm gonna cook the shrimp a little bit in the not cast iron, but in the Dutch oven, and then put the vegetable in there, so the juice from the shrimp is going to give me a little bit of flavor. It's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, but I'm up for a challenge, okay? So let's get that going. Because the bean soup is not gonna take that long, and we are going to do the bean soup here. And then I'm thinking white rice, or I have a little bit of couscous. I did couscous this week with my cooking class, and it came out so good. I blanched some green peas, and at the end I mixed it in with the couscous. It was so lovely. We did roast chicken, seasoned it, fill the cavity with all the herbs and the lime juice, and good morning, Julie. And it was amazing. And then we added some potatoes to the chicken, so everything was nice and tasty. So, alright, vámonos. I'm gonna try one day to cook without talking and see how it comes out. I don't know. I saw it, Maggie. I used to love to eat shrimp and crab, but it doesn't agree with my stomach as I get older. Oh, that's too bad. I don't have, you know what I did yesterday? I was sitting there. For lunch, I had some sardine with an avocado. And then it was kind of late at night. I cracked the coconut and then I ate the pulp. And this morning, my tummy said, that was too much. I mean, things happen as we get older. You know, like I think I'm sensitive to gluten now. I wasn't like that. I used to eat lots of bread and stuff, but now I eat it and then I swell up. My belly swells up. My face swells up. Ugh. It's a no bueno. But I still eat it once in a while. I mean, I don't get pain or anything like that. It's just the bloating. But bloating is something I've dealt with since menopause. It's crazy. So, you just kind of go with the flow. So I'm going to use the last bit of my oil from the tuna. There's a little bit of liquid in there. Just splash the tuna liquid. And the Dutch oven, it heats up really fast. So I always have to watch. You know, I can't deal with a dirty stove. Not when I'm cooking. No, senor. I know what I need. I need to buy a set of more wooden spoons. I have a couple. I have a ladle. Alright. I put garlic in the shrimp, so I don't need to do that. And then we're gonna get ready for the veggies in the same pot. Once I take the shrimp out, I'm gonna put all of it in because I'm looking for that broth or any kind of liquid from the shrimp to season my veggies. Turn it down a bit. Then I can start getting ready for my vegetables. Now the carrot, I'm gonna put the chayote in first. I use half of it for my class because I did a veggie mix and it came out so nice. So chayote is very mild and it goes well in stews and soups. Oh, I know. But that's okay, brother. Now, chayote is something you need to start using because it's so good. Just put it in your soups. Okay? It's abundant here, but I know they have it in the US. You may have to go to like a ethnic store, like a Caribbean store or Asian. I don't know if Asians use that. And remember, your shrimp, as soon as it's pink, you take it out because you don't ever want to overcook shrimp. It's a no bueno. Major pet peeve of mine. When I see people cooking and they put the shrimp in with the chicken and it cooks and it cooks. No, no bueno. You're gonna get rubber shrimp. So I'm going to chop the vegetables a little bit on the smaller side. Not too small, especially the carrots, but I want them to cook faster, so. Definitely the chayote. Now the chayote is interesting. You have to cut it in the middle like that. And you see that core? You got to take this out. And then you got to cut this off. So I usually cut it in half. And then if I have a smaller knife, what is it? Like this size knife, I love. And you just take the core out. Okay? Then this wedge here, you go ahead and cut that off because it's kind of harsh. And you don't want stuff like that in your food because you're going to have different textures. And it's going to be hard. And that would be a no bueno. Now see that broth in there? That's what I want. I want that to cook my vegetable in. And you know, a lot of things about cooking, I told you, is science. You got to think about what you're doing. And as I said, that's where my creativity comes in. All right, my shrimp is good. So I'm going to take them out. Because when I finish with my veggies, then I'm going to return the shrimp. I might put them in the oven a little bit for like 5 minutes to dry them out. But I don't want that broth. Look at that. That was really good thinking. I got exactly what I wanted. This broth. This is gold right here. Okay? So, now we're going to put the chayote in so it can cook. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to mash them in there. So that chayote, of course, is going to be yummy because it's cooking in that shrimp broth. Now, you could use chicken, but like I said, the usual, what we use is beef, a mixture of meat and bones. I have done this dish with chicken, but this is, I think, my first time doing it with shrimp. And I'm like, why not? Sometimes we add shrimp at the end, especially like crab. When we're making that, sometimes we do that. But I'm going to put this in with the eggplant. Chayote is very good. It's mild. Now we mash it, but you don't have to. You could leave yours, you know, like a potato. Think of it as a potato. But it does cook. It takes a little bit longer to cook than, say, potatoes, or just about the same time as carrots. I love chayote. Absolutely love it. I mean, I love all vegetables, period. All right. Now let's go with the eggplant. Berenjena. How about two? One looked really good, the other one not so good, but oh well. But eggplant is so easy. You know, you do eggplant parmesan. Maybe we can do that, but I don't eat cheese though. If you say parmesan, you're gonna have to have cheese, okay? Goes without saying. So as soon as I mash these two, when they cook, then I'm going to add my carrots, because I don't want the carrot to be mashed. So you always think. I don't know if you ever heard about the 5-second rule. If you're in the kitchen, you drop something, you have 5 seconds to pick it up. Chayote or chocho? Okay. It's good in soup. I agree. I agree with you. So good in soups. But you know, Americans are not used to chayote. It's usually people from the Caribbean and the Americas, lower, central. But now that you're learning about chayote and eggplant, but don't put eggplant in soup. That is not one. It's not good in soup. No. I guess you can, but I wouldn't put it in soup. And we are gonna have to put a bit of liquid in here to allow this to cook, okay? It kind of cooks down. It looks like a lot, but it's not. Alright, so I'm gonna put a bit of water and then I'm going to toss a bouquet garni in here, which is the herb pack, so that I can work on my flavor. So I'm gonna turn the heat up. Alright, let's get our bouquet. Herbs getting old. Alright. Now I have fresh Scotch bonnet, but I'm gonna put that towards the end, right? For the taste of the pepper. But I am going to put a little bit of rosemary. Rosemary is strong, so I don't like to use a lot of it. You know, I'm not going to do that because I don't want it to just fall into the into my mix. That's not a good choice right now. So we'll do this, and I have a little bit of cilantro that are not looking so fresh, but it's okay because it's just the flavor that I want. And then I'm going to put a couple of bay leaves. And then tie everything together. All right, put that in there. Let that cook. And now we're going to work on our bean sauce. Over here, we have our beans, white beans. Okay, so I'm going to take the bay leaves out. And then when I mash, I'm going to make sure I mash the garlic that I had put in there. You know, you cook it until it's soft, right? All right. So I do about half. So that's good here. And I use my masher. I don't like to put it in the blender because I feel like it gets too, you know, the shells from the peas. I don't want all that in there. Now, if you are making a soup, you would just throw it in there like that? No, that's not how we do it. When you're making bean sauce, we have to strain it. All right. So what we do, we'll take the liquid from here. And if we need to add a little more, I don't have any stock, but that would have been a good time to just put some stock in here. But I'll use water, it's okay. So I'm going to strain it, but I'm going to use a larger pot because this is not big enough. All right. We're going to use this pot. Throw that in there. Because, you know, we want our beans because that's what's going to really make our dish. And then we're going to strain that in here. Ooh, smells so good. The chayote and the aubergine, they're just boiling away. It's gonna give you a different way to cook beans, right? Maggie, your first cooking class was so good. Thank you. You gave so much worth of info, and I wish I was there to sample. Let me tell you, honey, it was so good. That chicken was amazing. The ladies were raving about it. They're like, I had lunch, I had dinner. Because I fed them some of it here, and then I asked them, I said, bring yourself a container. And I sent it all with them. I think with the chicken, I just had the back that was left. And I was trying to snack on it after they were gone. All right, so we're going to add a little bit more water. So it's like we're gonna do a second pass, right? We're gonna put it back in here. and we're gonna strain again. And after the second one, then we're done. All right. So just to make sure we extract everything from the shells here. Ooh. Not supposed to happen. That goes to the trash. So one of the students, Maria, said that she wants to know how to cook fish. And I just showed everyone, I don't know if you saw the live, I bought more tuna. I did not show the corvina. I have a long fillet of corvina. I had the shrimp. What else did I buy? I think that's it. Tuna, corvina, shrimp. Yeah. All right. So this is good. And then I'm going to show you when it's almost done what we do to really bring the flavor up. We make like a special oil. It's like when you're watching Indian cooking and like if they're making the dal and then they add that oil at the end with the garlic and the chilies. Oh, yes. You know, I was looking at Masterclass or Master Chef, what do they call it? Celebrities. And they have a show here from Colombia. And they're like, I think I mentioned that last time, they're artists. And they started knowing nothing, right? Like that show that Anne Burrell was hosting. Did you guys see that they found a suicide note from her? You know, suicide tends to be prevalent in the chef's community, and that's a sad thing. I think, yes, I'm still trying to get that cookbook, but you know, like Anthony Bourdain, you know, committed suicide, and there are other chefs, you know, Michelin star chefs, because the pressure on these people to, you know, perfection, to be different, better, whatever, and I'm like, Somebody invited me one time when I was in Florida. Oh, we're gonna do a competition. We'll give you a basket, and I'm like, I don't want that kind of stress on myself. I want to know what I want to cook, but I don't want you to give me marshmallows and peanut butter and tell me to come up with something. I'm creative, but I'm not gonna too much pressure. So when you become a Michelin star restaurant, then the pressure is for you to maintain that, and it's like that's a lot of pressure. Running a restaurant is bad enough physically, mentally. You are overworked. So these chefs, for some reason, and my heart goes out to them, right? Okay, I gotta taste it, right? All right. Alrighty. So this is gonna start. I'm also gonna put a bouquet in the beans. Again, whenever you cook or I cook, it's all about building flavor. We have got to just up it up, right? Up it up. Hi, M. Thomas. Okay, I hear you. The other day I saw somebody posted, I think it was on TikTok. He's like, what is a food combination that is gross but you swear tastes amazing? Listen, the thing people said, I was shocked. Potato chips and ice cream. Twizzlers with people mix crazy stuff. And you know, and you can, and even in cooking. This is what I like about cooking. It's like there is no limitation to what you can try. You could take a dish and change one ingredient and call it something else. So nobody can come to you and say, "Oh, you copied me." It's like, no, I added this spice, or whatever, right? Okay, so we're not gonna open the Dutch oven. We're gonna wait and make sure all that's steaming there so it cooks fast. And then the same thing, I'm gonna take the masher. Once they're done, I'm gonna mash. Then I'm gonna add the carrots, and then I'm going to do the, I'm gonna add the spinach. Now I still have this spinach. Oh, I didn't even open it yet. But I don't really like these, but I'm gonna use it because it's kind of heartier. But when I went today to the market, to San Felipe, you know, it's funny, this little lady, it's like, mi amor, ¿qué deseas? What do you want? I said, espinaca. And then she's like, oh, sí, fresquecito, mommy. And then she just put a pack like this. She said, fresquecito. I mean, it's fresh, so that's $1. See? I could eat a bunch of those. And then I had some stuff delivered this week. So I had coconuts, I had a couple of mangoes, I ate those. I have a papaya that I bought yesterday. But the delivery was 30 eggs, you know, free-range eggs, 2 coconuts, 2 mangoes, 1 watermelon, because I don't want to carry watermelon. I can't carry it. So I have it delivered. And I don't charge for delivery, this company here, because of where I live. And what else did we have? Oh, 3 avocados, of course. I am an avocado nut. You hear me? I absolutely love aguacate. All right? Love it, love it, love it. So I put 2 in the fridge because I didn't want them all. Ooh, this one got spots. I don't know what that means. Look at this. But you know, this company, I've been ordering maybe 6 months. The avocado is always on point, buttery, yellow. And then when I buy them in the street, it's like hit or miss. I don't know. So I'm gonna put these out. I ate one, and then I said, let me put those in the fridge so that they don't ripen at the same time. All right, so this was a leftover. See if I can do something with it. Okay. Because I do eat carrots, you know, raw. I love to just munch on them. You know the little one we used to have in the States, in the little bag? All the baby carrots, I think they call them. Yeah, I used to buy those all the time. And just munch on them. Good for your eyes. Hopefully they don't bathe them in chemicals, which I probably do. Oh my God. I read yesterday, it says, bread in Europe has 4 ingredients. You know, when you go and you look at a baguette, it's flour, a little water, salt, maybe leavening, and butter. That's it. But he said the bread in America has like hundreds of stuff in it. It's like, oh my God. Oh, and they're not even embarrassed. Everybody talks about how bad the food is. You think they would do something about it? No. All these canned stuff, I tell you, you don't know what kind of chemical they put in the solution. And when you see, there's a show where they show how they do mass production, and these machines, listen, things are going through all this stuff gets stuck in there. So, chemical, roaches, rodents, and you think if they find the rodent, they're gonna get rid of the whole crop? They're not gonna do that. And you've seen those where they show you like a bakery, and they show the rat going in there overnight. The next day you think they're gonna throw the bread away? No. This is where I keep saying you put your life in your hand, in somebody's hand. I'm not saying I can 100% avoid it, but I try. You want to reduce the likelihood of you eating all that junk. So go to the farmer's market and get your stuff. The other day we found a farm here, someone shared with me, Crystal, I don't know if she's watching, where she was able to get collard greens. So we couldn't find collard greens. So I was like excited. And then there was a statement on the website saying, we are not 100% organic because sometimes we have to get rid of this. And I appreciated that because if you are a gardener, you know you have to have some kind of pest control program. Now you tell me, oh, well, I'm using all natural, whatever. I don't believe that because some of the natural stuff doesn't kill the bugs. And you don't want to lose your crop. I get it. So they're going to use some. And he said, you know, we're like 50% because we don't have enough, what she said, chicken poop or whatever. So what you do a lot of time with your fruit, especially things you eat, you soak them in your sink with like, sometimes I use soap, or you could use vinegar and baking soda, and then you buy a little brush, like apples and stuff, you know, and brush it. And I was talking to Greta about that. And, you know, she got sick, she said, from blueberries. And I'm like, I don't know how you can do something about blueberries, but you can soak them, right? But it's a battle. It's a battle. What you want to do is not let your guard down. And understand that you have to pay attention to what you're putting in your body. Always think it's dirty and that you need to go a little bit extra in cleaning it. Don't trust any food you buy from somebody, okay? Because chances are there is some level of contamination. And especially when you have mass production of anything, there's always room for something to slide in there. It's because it's business. Because it's business, they're not going to throw it away. It's like, no, that's like thousands or hundreds of thousands. No. Isn't that the same thing about the toxic dump, you know, when they know they have, you know, toxic stuff and then they go and they put it in the lake or whatever. They'll do it. It's all about the money, y'all. People don't care about you. They don't. All right, I think after this, that's enough. I'm gonna save the rest of this carrot. And so I can munch. This is snack. All right. Let's take a look at our mix here. See what they're doing. That's my masher. All right, y'all, take a look. Okay, so I'm going to move the bouquet garni because I don't want that to kind of start falling inside in my food. So I'm going to take that off. Whew. But, oh yes. Perfecto. Woo-hoo-hoo. So now the carrots can go in so they can cook. But not all the way. I don't want it to be like a porridge. Okay? So that's good. What I want to do right now, I'm going to turn the oven on and dry up this, the shrimp. Just want to dry it out. That's all. Oh, oh, look at that. Broke right here. So all that good juice goes in there. And throw it away. All right. Let the stove warm up in 5 minutes. And then I think I'll do quinoa. Quinoa is like 10 minutes. Not quinoa. I don't have quinoa. I have couscous. So we're going to use the rest of the couscous that I have instead of rice. I'd rather have couscous than rice. So the couscous is light and fluffy. Ooh. Very good. Okay. So what I'm going to do in here, I'm going to squeeze some tomato paste. Because you have got to change the color. And then remember that then I have to put the spinach in there towards the end. Spinach, 5 minutes. Last 5 minutes. So now I can kind of taste. See the color? That's what it is. That's what I want. I don't want it to be pink. All right? I just wanted that gray to go away. And then here we're going to add our scotch bonnet pepper. See, I bought a whole pack. Ahi. Oh, it's not even jumbo. It's not even scotch bonnet. But I put it in here for the flavor. Here. So now I'm going to taste and play with the flavor. It needs things. So let's see. Paprika. Let me turn the heat down a bit. Oh, and we're gonna have to season our beans over there. Cumin. I told his sister, she said, what is it that you want? She's coming in. I said, I need cornmeal, I need herb de Provence. So she was taking notes. So I'm excited to see what she brings me. I'm so blessed. Adobo. Alright. Now definitely I would have loved some scotch bonnet to give it a little heat. I want to buy a bottle of sriracha. I need to get some of that. Okay, let's see. It's getting there. And you know, of course, at the end, I'm going to add some, that's good. Some lime juice. I don't need to put anything else in there. Okay? Look how good it looks. It's perfect. Okay, let's put the shrimp in. So now before I forget, let's season our beans. We haven't put any spices in those beans here, right? All right. Paprika, red pepper, not too much. Cumin, adobo, pepper for flavor and black pepper. Okay? You see, the consistency is really good. All right? So we're gonna let that cook. I need a bouquet garni in here. Yep, we need some thyme and some cilantro. I cooked it with, see, this is some garlic, so I'm crushing it in there. And like I said, I cooked the beans with bay leaves, so I'm not gonna put any more. Because you always want to balance. You don't want to overdo one thing over another. But we need the bouquet. Oh, this is so good. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat down on this one really low. And we have to do that oil at the end, but this one needs to go for a few more minutes. Good 15 minutes, okay? But let's put the bouquet in here. It's screaming for the time. I need some time. Yes. I knew I should have bought another cilantro. Sometimes I forget what I have in the house. All right. And thyme. My legume is looking amazing. All right, so you're gonna let that cook uncovered so it can reduce. And we're back here with our legume. Look how lovely that is. Oh man. Okay, so now what we need to do is get the spinach ready. Because we have to put it in, and then we add a little butter at the end, and we're done. And add the shrimp, of course. The shrimp is the star. Oh, this thing is so harsh. Where did I get this? This spinach. It is hard. The leaves are kind of harsh. I mean, they're gonna cook, thank God, but ooh. I gotta make sure I don't buy the ones in the plastic bags again. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave this and use it in my stock. And just use the one that I just bought, which is nicer. Now I am not a kale person, I don't like kale that much, but I could see, I like this one better, right? So I'm gonna use maybe half. I can see me putting some kale in this. And then once we finish with this part, we cook the couscous. And everything's gonna be done about this. Oh, no. I need to do the oil in here first, okay. I need to get a smaller pan. I keep saying I need to do. That's the only one I'm gonna break and get because I don't want any more gadgets. That's why the ox there, when I thought about it this morning, and I'm like, I won't have time because it takes about 2 hours for the oxtail to cook. I wasn't gonna have time unless I had a pressure cooker, and I'm not gonna get one. Nope. You know I only cook healthy, right? I don't fry anything in my house. And if it's not healthy, I don't do it. Full of vitamins. Good for you. Goodness. So now you're going to have the contrast of the eggplant. You get the spinach, and then you have the carrots. Perfect. And the shrimp. Now, you could also use some cabbage in this mix. Sometimes I add zucchini or the yellow squash. Yeah, you can do that. All right. So let's do the oil for the beans, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll put it somewhere. But that time, just, yes. But I almost forgot, I need to blanch that green peas and edamame, and that's gonna go in there. So, we're gonna turn some water on, and I thought I had some lima beans, but I don't. So I'm gonna do some edamame and some green peas. I told someone I found this large bag at Cisco. So that's one of my newer favorite places to go to. Ooh, I think that's too much. Back in there you go. All right. I think we're gonna switch, because my thing is good. I just need the spinach to soften. So we're gonna switch burners. I want these beans to cook faster. All right. So what I'm gonna do then is use another burner for the couscous. So we're gonna use that one. See how that works. And use these guys. Now the couscous is 1:1, 1 part water, 1 part couscous. Put it back here, and a little bit of salt, a little bit of oil. That's it. All right. Yeah, you want the contrast, right? Take the shrimp. Everything about done. I'm gonna turn this off. And of course, we're gonna finish off with a splash of lemon juice or lime juice. So we're gonna turn this on so we can make the oil. And for this, I'm gonna need garlic and chilies. Okay. Water is done. We're gonna pour it over our peas. We blanch our peas. When you do that, they don't overcook and then they keep their color. That's what I want. So I always cover them. So that's like a Maggie's steam technique. Ooh, this looks so good. Oh my gosh. I just did it right. Okay. Okay, now you're cooking. All right. Okay. Little bit of adobo. Marjorie. Marjorie is my tree, my ficus tree. You are Michelle. All right. Some little bit of olive oil. Garlic. Gotta keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn. Couple of red chilies. Full of seeds. I'm using red chilies, but I could have used like green onions. I love green onions better. All right, so I am going to turn the heat off here. throw the shrimp in. And this is done. Just need a little butter. Ooh, that's a lot of shrimp. I think I overdid it in the shrimp, but all for me. Yeah, I could have used maybe 2/3 of this. Hey, look at this. Yeah, couscous is, the water is ready. So we're gonna put the couscous in. You notice I don't measure, but for you, it's gonna be 1 to 1. So what you do with the couscous, you mix, and then you're gonna have to take it off the heat. And again, steam. Yep, that's good. I made the mistake of leaving it on the burner once, and it wasn't the right thing to do. So I'm gonna make room for it and take it off. Turn that off. Now I have my oil for my beans. We're just gonna dump that in here. Ooh, yeah. But like I said, you don't have to use a chili. You could use green onion. You get the same result. So I'm going to take the bouquet out now. This is done. You don't need to be cooking anymore. And I'm also going to take the pepper. All right. 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to add the green peas and the edamame. Okay. Need to thicken up a little bit more. Oh my God. It tastes so good. Listen. That's why I say play with your food, okay? Play with your food. Because when you get that flavor that you want, it's like bam. In your face. And I like that little chili taste, that it just gives me that little bit of heat that I crave, right? But if you're not into that, don't do it. But wow. Ooh. I think I'm gonna cover this a little bit because it's splashing away. But the taste is amazing. I'm gonna do it like this, okay? So now for the star dish, which is the legume, we are going to toss in, I'll take that out. You know, after about 10 minutes, the pepper has done its thing. You wanted it to release the flavor from the skin, and I did that. So I'm gonna just add a little glistening butter, Monte au beurre, we call that. When I went to school, I'm like, oh, I've always done that. That's what you call it? You got a fancy name for it? Okay. And then I'm gonna squeeze a little bit of lime juice, always. Voila. Okay? So that can only elevate your flavor. You don't add too much. Now this, we can plate 3 ways. You could do just this on top of white rice. You can have the beans with just the couscous, or you could do the trio. So we're gonna do 3 ways. All right, we're done here. Couscous needs about 5 more minutes. And we're ready to plate. Oh, we did good today. That's why I didn't do the oxtail, because I just knew I wasn't gonna have time. All right, I'm gonna take this off here, get our peas so they can cook a little bit more. You see how they look? Oh, beautiful and green. That's what you want. I don't ever want my peas to be brown. Oh, that's a no bueno for me. That would be a no bueno. Now you have to wash the bottom of this dish because it will stick. But I think if you wanted to call this a soup, you can. All right, you can eat this with rice. You can eat it with pita, naan bread, rice, quinoa. Okay. Woo. I'm gonna squeeze a little bit of this on here too. Let me tell you, this thing is flavorful. I am not kidding. It is so yummy. One sister told me the other day to use Miracle Whip to shine my plants. Have you ever heard of that? And she brought it to me. She's in the building. She says her mother taught her, because with my ficus, you know, when I have company, so sometimes I'll just mix a little oil in a little water with a rag and then wipe the leaves. She's like, Miracle Whip. I'm like, wow. All right, so let's clean up a bit. And think of how we're going to plate this and with what? These dishes. Putting the heat on, the burner is as hot as ever. You know, I find that when I get the steel wool that is very soft, and then I buy the product that cleans the stove, because I have this clear top, not glass top, it's just flat top, I think they call them. And then, where is it? Yeah, this Cerama Bright. Cerama Bright. I wet the top before I go to bed, and then I put that on here in the burner. And the next day, I take a very fine steel wool, and it just cleans it. It doesn't leave streaks, and it doesn't, because I was just struggling to find something to clean this top with. And this, I remember, I think I got this from home, but they have it here at River Smith. Alrighty, we are done. So let's check the couscous and see how it looks. Couscous, you have to take it off the heat. All right, and then you flick away. And I was telling the ladies when I was cooking, I said I found that couscous is not a grain. It's a form of pasta that I read. I'm like, oh, okay. You flick it with the fork. Kind of like you do quinoa as well, but quinoa you can leave it on the heat for it to finish cooking. This is a pasta. And I mold it, you know, and then plate it. That's it. It's done. Okay. All right. So, thinking of what we have. Oh, I need to put a little bit of butter on here with the beans. I turn everything off. Because what's going to happen with this bean is that it tends to thicken as it sits, okay? But this is a pot of goodness, right? You could just, and you know it's good what's in there. A bit of olive oil, lots of garlic, green peas, and you see the green peas don't lose their color. All right? Let's put a little butter, just because we can, you don't have to. But when I was younger, when I was learning to cook, we always add a little butter at the end. And that's why. And this is good butter. It's not margarine. It's not plastic. You don't want me to get started with that, right? No fake food. If you're going to have butter, have the real thing. So I get my butter. It's a New Zealand brand. All right. So we're going to put we're going to do quinoa, couscous, and then the beans. I'm trying to see. Do I do the beans first and then put the what goes first, the chicken or the egg? Okay, we'll see. And in terms of decoration, that's going to be a challenge because and it's nice and fluffy. And then you just press. But you know, if you're at home, you don't have to do this. But, you know, I gotta take pictures, so. Yes. And now we're gonna put our beans around. But you know how I feel about everything being bland and brown. So I need some contrast. So I'm gonna put some of my legume over here. Ooh. Yeah. And so, have some carrots just to add some texture. Yes. All right. So let's clean this up. Now I'm going to struggle with the decorating because I don't have any cilantro, fresh cilantro. All right. Yeah, that's good. All right. So one down. And, ooh. This one here, I want to do I'm going to make a funnel with the legume. Ooh. And put the couscous in the middle, right here. I know I cooked the couscous for the ladies the other day, and I'm like, I should have done more. Because it was like we didn't have enough. I hope it stays and doesn't embarrass me here. 1, 2, 3, down. Oops. Not quite, but it's good. Okay. So now we're gonna just cover our imperfection with the with the legume. Of course, you could do that. And in that master class, the ladies were doing something with chili, and this lady did a beef Wellington. Well, I don't eat beef, so that's going to be something that I don't know. I want to make coq au vin. Coq au vin is chicken in wine. Oh, it's so good. With mushrooms, and we do have mushrooms here. So I can't say we don't have it, because we do. Oh, look what happened. I dumped a piece of that on my quinoa. Couscous. I keep saying quinoa, but it's couscous. All right. All right, so we have this one. Look at that. Woo. So that's 2. All right. Maybe I'm going to take 2 spinach leaves. Oh, we're going to decorate with spinach leaves. Look at that. OMG. I came up with an idea. We're going to use spinach leaves to decorate. Okay, what would the third be? What would the third be? Oh, this is good. We're going to put our beans in here. Whew. Ouch. How do we do this with the couscous here? 3 plates. Couscous. I want to make a couscous salad one day and just load it up with all kinds of things. And you can do that. Look at that, 3 little pots. Usually, yes. All right. And then, let me rinse the spinach leaves. Ooh, yes, that works. That works. Okay. I am playing with my food. Okay. You could do 2. All right. And maybe some lime wedges. Why not? Because we can. I'll do slices instead. All right. We do it here. Okay. We are done, ladies. Hour and a half. Boy, Maggie, you really give the food the Midas touch. All right, here is one dish. I don't have cilantro, so I'm like, okay, spinach leaves. That's one. And somebody's truly vegan or vegetarian. This, couscous and the beans. You know, remember, couscous is good. The beans, we got green peas in there. It's got some protein. They have a little bit, not a lot. I wouldn't say it's a lot. And then this one, the trio. Play with your food. So now all I need is some mimosa, and then I'm ready. Oh, we have an event at 3, so we're gonna try to go somewhere at 3 o'clock. So thank you for joining me, guys. This was white beans with green peas and edamame, a bean sauce that you can eat as a meal. Add some grain or some bread. Then we did the legume with the shrimp, carrots, eggplant, onions, chayote, right? That's good. And then, you know, so it's a balanced meal. Either way you look at it, and it is healthy. It's homemade, eat at home. All right? Thank you, guys. Thank you for hanging with me. Don't forget to do the thumbs up. I appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video. All right? Thank you so much. Yes, yes, yes. So I think that's what I'm going to do now. When I do something, I'll do a vegan option or a vegetarian option, right? Because some people just are not into the meat, not even the seafood. Like somebody said, doesn't agree with them, but don't have that problem. Thank God. But I still have to watch. Sometimes my tummy talks to me. I don't throw up and I don't get sick, but it's like, oh, maybe you had too much of something and then kind of, you know. So, and then when you are decorating, you just, try to be creative, right? Okay. So I'll take my pictures and then eat. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. God loves you. You know I love you. Bye.